Hello students, so I welcome you all to the session. So in the last session we have discussed about life cycle models. So you learned waterfall model, prototyping and rapid application development model, and also spiral or iterative model. So in today's session we will be learning V model. So let us see what is V model. So as you can see in the diagram, so V model is divided into two parts. So first one is verification on the one side and the other side is validation. So the V model is basically your SDLC model. So where the execution of process happens in sequential manner in V shape. So it is also known as verification and validation model. So the model is an extension of your waterfall model. So this all the other models are basically designed on the waterfall model. So it is very important to learn and understand the waterfall model thoroughly. So waterfall model is and is also based on the association of testing phase. So in V model what you do is parallelly you will be doing the testing also. So in all the phases you will be performing the testing parallelly. So for each corresponding development stage you will be performing the testing also. So this means that every single phase in the development life cycle there is directly associated with the testing phase. So it is a highly disciplined model you can call, and so here what happens, the next phase starts only after the completion of the previous phase. So in V model, so it is corresponding testing phase of development phase is planned in parallel. So as I have told you before, so the testing phase is planned parallelly in association with your development phase. So and there are verification processes on the one side. So in the left side, consider left side, you will do the verification, and right side of your V is a validation phase. So the coding phase, as you can see, coding phase joins the two sides of the V model. So V model verification phase, what happens? So let us see, there are so many phases in it. First one is business requirement analysis. So this is the first phase in the development cycle. So everywhere you go in the software development life cycle, the first phase always is the requirement gathering or business requirement analysis. So it is a first phase in the development cycle wherein the product requirements are well understood from the customer's perspective. So this phase involves the detailed communication with the customer to understand his expectation and what is his requirement. So next comes the design phase, system design phase. So once you have a clear idea of what has to be done, or once you have a clear idea about the product requirements, so it is the time to design the complete system now. So in this what happens, the system design will have some understanding and detailing the complete hardware and the communication setup for the product which is under the development. So in this, the system test plan is also developed based on the system design. So doing this at an earlier stage leaves the more time for the actual test execution in the later stages. So once you start the system design development, so parallelly you will also start the testing, so that you are well understood about what has to be done in the testing phase. So next is architectural design. So architectural specifications are understood and designed in this phase. So as I have told you in the architectural design in the previous models, so here you design the database or you design the UI. So all the architectural specifications are understood and designed in this phase. So usually more than one technical approach is proposed, and based on that technical and feasibility study, you have to take the decision. For example, on which programming you want to continue the application to develop. So in this high level design is developed and given to the next phase. So the next phase is module design. So here you design each and every module, like low level design happens here. So in the architectural design you just designed your database, or you just designed your UI, or each module design you have done in a high level design. So in module design what happens, so you design the system in detail. So low level designing happens here. For example, what are the database tables, and what is the data type to each table. So all the relations are specified in this design, and the code is written in this phase. So next comes the coding phase. So this actually joins the both of the verification and validation phases. So actual coding of the system modules are designed in this phase and are taken into the coding phase. So the best suitable programming language which you have decided before, so are taken into consideration, and you develop the code here. So we have understood the verification phases now. So let us see the other part of the V. So other part is validation phase. So in validation phase you can see the testing starts parallelly in with respect to your development phase. So first let us see what is unit testing. So as I've told you in the previous sessions, so unit testing is basically line by line code check for the written code. So you do the unit testing for the design which are designed already in the module design phase and are executed on the code during the validation phase. So unit testing is the testing at the code level. So you test the source code of every module, and helps to eliminate the bugs at the earlier stage. So when you do the unit testing, so you find out some errors, right? So you try to eliminate the bugs in this module itself, or in this phase itself. So next comes the integration testing. So integration itself indicates that you are integrating all the modules which you have designed, or all the features, individual features, you will combine it and have a proper testing. So this is performed to test the coexistence and communication of the internal modules within the system. For example, in a single application there are so many modules. So you go and check each and every module and how is it correlated to the other module. Okay. So next is system testing. So once you finish your integration testing, so there comes the system testing. So system testing is directly associated with your system design phase. So all these system test cases which you have written will be tested here. So the entire system functionality and the communication of the system which are under development and with the external system. So you do complete testing here. So next comes the acceptance testing. So acceptance testing is associated with the business requirements. So what requirement the customer has given, you have to make sure that all those requirements are met with your designed product. Is your acceptance testing. So let us see. The same discussed points are mentioned here. So it is a model where execution of a process happens sequentially, like in a V shape. So the phases are working in a sequential manner. One phase is completed, then only it goes to the next phase and then perform the action. So it is also known as your verification and validation model. And every single phase in the development cycle, it is directly associated with your testing phase. Like I have told, as you start the development phases directly, the testing phase is also started at that time itself. And it is a highly disciplined model, as I've told you. So it is very highly disciplined model, and because the phase starts only after completing the previous phase, and verification phase on the other side and validation on the other side. So the advantages of V model, so it emphasizes on planning for the verification and validation for the product in the earlier stage. So as you start your development, as in when you start your development, you also start your testing. So verification and validation happens in the same time. So it is so you get enough time to have your product deliverables earlier. So each deliverable must be testable. So every deliverable you produce are tested, are to be testable in the V-shaped model. So next is project management can track the progress by milestones. So by setting up the milestone, you can track all the modules and when which module can be delivered. And it is also easy to use as it is very disciplined, and and the next phase starts only the previous phase is finished. So the disadvantages of V model are so it is not good for some complex and object oriented projects. So, and it does not handle iterations or phases like you have seen in the previous models. Like spiral model, it handles the iterations, so you can go back and again come back with the same rotation. But here in this V model, you cannot have that iterations or phases, and it does not easily handle dynamic changes in the requirements. So as and when I get the new change from the customer, I cannot have that change in my product because I have started the next phase, but the changes were supposed to happen in the previous phase which I have already finished. So it is not easy to handle the dynamic changes which is going to come from the customer. So the next one is, once an application is in the testing phase, so it is very difficult to go back and change the functionality. So as I have told in the previous point, so the same thing. So once you finished your phase and gone to the testing phase, it is very difficult for you to change the functionality of a system. So these are some of the disadvantages of V model. So in the next session we will learn modified V module. Thank you, students.